In this epic journey, we now enter the fourth chapter of 1,000 timeless secrets of the Persian Empire. 10 extraordinary facts, from the glory of kings to the wonders of ancient knowledge, await you in this episode. Join us and subscribe to uncover the full saga of Persia's eternal legacy. 1. Cyrus the Great, the merciful conqueror. In an age of fire and steel, kings built empires upon ruins and ashes. But Cyrus the Great was different. When he entered conquered cities, he did not burn their temples, nor enslave their people. Instead, he rebuilt, he restored, he freed. 2.5 millennia ago, Cyrus envisioned an empire not of fear, but of loyalty. A vision so rare that even his enemies remembered him as the merciful king. 2. The arrows of Persia, darkening the sky. To the Greeks, the Persian archers were a living storm. It was said that when they released their arrows, the sky itself turned black. Thousands of bows bent in unison, and day became night in a rain of death. The Greeks, trembling yet defiant, feared not just the arrow's strike, but the silence before the storm. For when Persia's bowstrings sang, the earth itself seemed to shudder. 3. Thermopylae, 50-1. At the narrow pass of Thermopylae, a legend was born. The Spartans, remembered in song, stood against the tide of Persia. 50 Persians for every single Spartan. Yet numbers alone cannot silence destiny. The clash shook the mountains, and blood mingled with dust and sea spray. Though the Spartans fell, the Persians marched on, and history itself bowed before the will of empires. 4. Alexander's tears at Persepolis. In the heart of Persia stood Persepolis, the jewel of an empire. When Alexander, son of Macedonia, set it to flame, the palaces of Darius and Xerxes roared with fire. Golden halls collapsed, statues melted, and paradise turned to ash. And yet, as he gazed upon the ruin he had wrought, Alexander wept. For in destroying Persepolis, he had destroyed more than stone. He had shattered a vision of kings, and in his heart he knew that glory cannot rise from ashes alone. 5. War elephants. Before Hannibal. Centuries before Hannibal crossed the Alps, Persians had already mastered a beast of legend. War elephants, thundering across the battlefield, towers on their backs, their tusks armored in bronze. When these giants charged, the ground itself quaked. Enemy ranks broke, and terror spread faster than any sword could strike. To face a Persian elephant was to stand before a living mountain, a reminder that Persia commanded not only men, but the very forces of nature. 5. 6. Persian cavalry and golden armor. In the blazing sun of Persia's battlefields, the cavalry rode forth, their armor embroidered with gold. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were living symbols of wealth, power, and prestige. Every charge was a storm of hooves and steel, and when their golden armor caught the light, it seemed as though the very sun had joined their ranks. To face Persian cavalry was to face not only warriors, but the majesty of empire itself. 7. Shapur I captures the Roman emperor. In the 3rd century, a moment shook the world. King Shapur I of Persia defeated the mighty Roman army and captured their emperor Valerian, alive. Never before had the Roman Empire suffered such humiliation. In reliefs carved in stone at Nakshi Rustam, Shapur is shown towering on horseback, the Roman emperor kneeling before him. It was more than victory. It was the triumph of Persia over Rome's pride. a moment etched forever in the memory of empires. 8. Romans settled in Persia. After Rome's defeat, captured soldiers were not slain, but resettled. In Persia, they built new cities, bridges, and fortifications. Some even rose to prosperity under Persian rule. The empire did not merely conquer, it absorbed. It turned enemies into citizens, and prisoners into builders of a greater world. In this, Persia showed its genius, to wield not only the sword, but also the power of integration. 9. The Cataphracts, tanks of antiquity. From the Sassanids came a creation that changed warfare forever. The Cataphract cavalry, armored from head to hoof, rider and horse alike encased in iron. They were the tanks of the ancient world, slow, unstoppable, an avalanche of steel and flesh. When Cataphracts advanced, enemy lines shattered under their crushing weight. This Persian innovation was adopted by empires from Rome to Byzantium, and echoes still in the armored knights of medieval Europe. A legacy of war, born in Persia.
10. War drums of Persia. Before the battle began, Persia's enemies often felt fear, not from the sword, but from the sound. The war drums thundered across valleys, so loud they seemed to shake the earth itself. Horses trembled, soldiers lost courage, and the hearts of entire armies faltered before a single arrow was loosed. For the Persians knew that victory begins in the mind, and their drums were the voice of empire, declaring that destiny marched with them.
In these 10 facts, we have only opened a single page of the vast, untold story of the Persian Empire. Here, on Persian Fact, we reveal the hidden secrets, the forgotten glories, and the timeless wisdom of ancient Iran. This is just the beginning, for 1,000 facts await, each one a key to understanding the empire that shaped the world. Join us, subscribe, and walk with us through the corridors of history, where Persia still speaks.